Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of selections from Euripides, and this recording is from Euripides' play The Alkestis, and we were up to line 773. Now, in the previous recording, we saw the servant come on stage and was bemoaning the fact that he's got to put up with this wretched Herakles, who is extremely rude and drinking and raucous and making a pest of himself. Herakles comes on stage now with a rejoinder to the servant, and that's the next section we'll read through. Houtos tisemnon kai pefrontikos blepes. Now this is a question. Houtos, this is demonstrative here. It's sort of you there. It's that man, but you translate it into English as something like you there. Why are you semnon? Well, so serious. And so why do you look? And this is probably an adverb. So why do you look in such a serious way? And then we get this adjective, pefrontikos, something like brooding or worn out by cares. It's connected with sort of being deep in thought, but in a negative sense, I think. So why do you appear, perhaps for blepes, why do you look? Why do you appear so serious and brooding? Ukres kuthropon tois xenois ton prospolon enai, dekestai du prosegoro phreni. It is not, there is no need, it is not necessary, it's not right, for a prospolon, for the servant, enai to be. Skuthropon is just another word for downcast. It's the ops is to do with your face, so with a sullen face. So it's not right for the servant to be sullen face to guests, tois xenois. But to receive them with eu prosegere phrene. So this means something like affable. Prosagore is to address, and then well. So with an affable is probably a good translation there, but to receive them with an affable phreni, well, mind or state of mind. Su dundr et hieron despotu paronthhoron stugno prosopon kais sun o fru omeno deke thuraio permetos budain ekon. But you, seeing the hetyron, seeing this man, i.e. himself, who is a friend of your master, being present. So you, seeing here present this man who is a friend of your master, Deke, this is second person from Decamai here, you receive him with literally a hateful face, a miserable face, and sun o fruomino, it means to have your eyebrows knitted. So with knitted brow, so looking very serious. Having spudane, having a concern for trouble, from pema, this is the genitive. Thurios means out of doors, and it's often just means from something outside. So having a concern for some outside trouble. Dur elth hoppers an kai sophoteros gene. But you, come here, so that you also might become more wise. Now at this stage the audience is probably wondering whether Herakles is going to whack him, but he doesn't. It's just to give him advice. So come here so that you might become more wiser. Comparative adjective here. Tathnet prag moidas ein ekephusin. Now oidas is an ionic form for oyster, which is the usual second person singular from oida. So do you know human matters, the nature which it has? So is literally, so do you understand what it really means to be human, to paraphrase it a bit? So do you understand the nature which mortal affairs have? You wanted to try and get it more literal. Oimai menu. Well, perhaps you probably, I think not, is what he says here. Pothingar, for how could you? Literally from whence, but something like for how could you? Al akue mu, but listen to me. Protois pasi kathanen ophelatai, kugestis neton hostis, epipistatai, ten aurion melusan e biosatai. So a little bit of homespun truth here. There is a debt for all mortals to die. So all mortals have to die, and there is no one, thneton, among mortals. So there is no one among mortals who epistatai, who knows, a biosatai, if he will live on the coming, on the Arion is tomorrow, on the tomorrow which is coming. So there is no one who knows whether he will even be alive on the coming day. To tes tukes ga aphenes hoi probasatai. So the thing of fate. So we would just say fate, but perhaps the affairs of fate are aphenes, are unclear. Hoi, to where. So just notice that one there. This is hoi, to where, in the sense of whither. Literally to where probasatai, it will lead ahead. So it will lead. So the affairs of fate are obscure as to where it will lead. Cast u didacton udi haliskatai techne. This is kai esti, and it's singular with agreeing with this top. So and it is not, and so is the adjective here, the didacton. So it is not teachable, nor haliskamai is used as a passive from hyreo. It does have passive forms, but generally the verb haliskamai is used as a passive for hyreo, to take. So here it is taken, so perhaps mastered, nor is it mastered techne, by skill. So you can't learn it, and you can't you can't master it by practice. Taut un acusas kai mathon emu para. Notice the accent on para, it's referring back to the previous word. So therefore, having heard these things, and having learned from me, Euphryno sauton, cheer yourself up. Pine, nice imperative there, drink. Ton kathemeran bion logisdu son. Tadala tes tukes. So this is an imperative, second person, from logisdomine. So it's literally reckon your life, the one but each day. So you have to paraphrase this slightly. So take account of your life day by day. and the other things, tes tukes, are of fate. So everything else belongs to fate. Tima de kai ten pleston hedisten theon kuprin protoisi, eumenes ga he theos. Tima is an imperative from timao, and we get a sort of double superlative here. We get placed on and disdain. So honor, and honor the Kupris. This is the goddess of love. So another name for Aphrodite. The greatest pleasure. So it's the greatest pleasure, the greatest, most pleasurable thing of the god for mortals among the gods. So it's not really thing. So she, the goddess, let me do that again. So, but honor Cyprus, she who is the most pleasurable of gods, protoisin for mortals. Eumenes ga hetheos, for the goddess is eumenes, is kindly. Ta dal iason tauta kai pithu logois emoisin. Eason, another imperative, so leave aside all these other things. The verb is iao, to allow. So it's leave beside all these other things. Kai pithu, another imperative from patho. This is the middle, so it means to obey. And obey my words, second person singular. It's an aorist middle imperative, so obey my words. E per orthra soi doco legain. If in fact, so is it the case that I seem to you literally to speak straight things? So am I speaking to you things that are correct? Oi my men, I think I am. Ukun ten agan lupain aphes, pie methemon tasdi hupaballon tukas. Hupabello is surmounting, so getting over, overcoming this fortune. Ukun, surely then, aphes, having left from aphiemi, having put aside this excessive grief, hupaballon, overcoming these misfortunes, pa, you will drink with me. So pa is it's the second person future from pino, so it's PMI and then PA, you will drink with me. Sorry, and of course it's a question here which I missed, so there's a question here. So having covered yourself with garlands, surely having left aside this excessive grief, will you drink with me, having overcome these misfortune? Kai saf oid hothunica tu nun scutropo kai sonestos phrenon, methomie se pitulos empeson scufu. Now this is a slightly more tricky bit. So he says, and I know this is sapha, it's neuter adverbial. So I know clearly, hothunica for hottie, that's quite a common usage of this word. So I know clearly that the pitulos scufu, now this is a funny expression here. The pitulos is the sort of plash of the wine cup. The scufos is cup. We've got to understand the wine cup. The derivative is doubtful of what this actually comes from. So the plash of the wine cup, empeson, literally falling upon you understood. Meth hormiae. Now this is an Attic future from meth hormizdo is the verb. It's a metaphor here from boats, of going from one anchorage to another. So you might perhaps say, will transport you. So when the plash of the wine cup comes upon you, it will transport you. And now we get the genitives here, which are ablatival, from your present unhappy mood, your scothropus, your unhappy face, and the sonestotus phrenone, the from your state of mind. This is from son histemi. So I'll just do that bit again because that's complicated. So and I know clearly that when the plash of the wine cup hits you, falls upon you, it will transport you from your present unhappy, your present scornful face and your current state of mind. Ontas dethnertois thnerta kai phronon creon. For being mortal, it is necessary, understand, for us also to think mortal things. Hos tois gesemnois kai sun o phruomenois, hapas sin estin. Hos ge emoi krestai krite, ubios eleathos hobios, ala sum phora. Now, with this, it's since for those who are serious, this is that semnos, and those with their eyebrows knit together, so those lacking in humour, so that those with their knitted brow. Now we get a little parenthetical expression here. It's equivalent to in my opinion. It's literally as to use me as a judge. In other words, in my opinion, the life is not truly a life, but a disaster. So just to put that together here, so since for those who are those who are serious and those who have knitted brows, to all of those, life is not truly life, but a disaster, in my opinion. Literally, as in fact to use me as a judge. And that's the end of this little speech of Herakles, and we'll continue in the next recording.